This is what Damian, the Work and Pensions Secretary, had to say about Ken Loach's new film, I, Daniel Blake.
Constituents in Kettering want to know if the Secretary of State thinks the film I, Daniel Blake is an accurate portrayal of the benefits system. If it is, does the changes he's announced in the Green Paper address the problems raised? If it isn't, what are the inaccuracies?
I think I haven't seen the film yet. I've seen quite a lot of trailers from it. It is, I would point out to my honourable friend and to the honourable lady chuntering from a sedentary position on the opposition benches. It is a work of fiction. It is not a documentary. It bears no relationship to the modern benefit system.
Tonight I'm speaking to Sheena Moore, a social worker in South Yorkshire who is in the front line of a war created by Tory austerity and benefit cuts. That war is food poverty. She speaks candidly about the extent of food poverty in her area. I'm also speaking to James, who served his country for 15 years in the armed forces, now thrown onto the scrap heap, who tells me about how he's gone for 4 days without food because he cannot afford to buy anything to eat.
I'm a social worker. I work in South Yorkshire in these areas for over 30 years, but nothing can compare to what I've seen in the last 8 to 10 years. The growth in food bank users, the growth in homelessness. As part of my job, I've had to direct people, mothers with children, families with children, to food banks because they simply can't feed themselves. They've been sanctioned, there's been difficulty with the benefit system, there's been difficulty with employers, and once they've paid the bills, they're having to go and eat at food banks. I've had to give vouchers out to people so they could get food to eat, and I just think in a very rich country like this, it's an absolute stain on us that our people have got to feed themselves via the food bank. But what worries me most is the people who are not coming forward, who are too proud or too embarrassed or too ashamed to come forward. And my view is we'll be taking people out of the homes who have died because of starvation, and we've already got doctors seeing people who are malnourished and having to give them supplements because they can't eat and they're very, very poorly. And I just think in 2016, that is so bad, it's so sad, and we should be caring for all our people, you know, there for the grace of God go everybody. And it's just a sad indictment on this society, and what a rotten society when we don't care.
15 years in the King's Road Scottish Borders. I left in 1993. I've had no help at all of the government since I left. I saved and got a flat, but in reality I couldn't really afford a flat, in reality, but it was my heaven. I was free, and it just spiraled from there, just downhill. Who knows now, I've got post-traumatic stress disorder, I've got COPD, which is the closing of the airways where I don't have oxygen in my body, and I've got cough, what we call cough sink. Is when I cough, I don't get enough oxygen to my brain and I pass out. The specialist has written a letter, which I've given to the council, stating that I should be put into sheltered accommodation where there's a warden, and if I feel like I'm going to collapse, pull the chain, and he comes and things sees me. But they've told me I've got to fill a form in to get on the housing list. I'm a bit dyslexic, I can't fill in forms, I've asked for help, they won't give me help. I receive £143 a week through ESA, which is the sickest part of the dole, and £43 of that goes straight away to my loan, and then everything else that I pay, water, electricity, and I'm left with about £60 to last a fortnight for food and clothing, and I've never been like that in my life. The longest I've ever went without food is 4 days without food. When I don't have food, it makes me feel worse. I go into myself, I don't go out, I start getting sore throats. I feel sick all the time. And I'm not the sort of person, I won't go and ask somebody for food. I'd rather starve and wait. I serve my country. I've been shot at. I've been abused in Northern Ireland. There've been stones thrown at me, bricks thrown at me. We've taken it all for this country. And what's this country giving back to us? Nothing. Nothing at all.
How on earth can Tory MPs like Damian Green be so detached from reality that they can make comments like this on Ken Loach's new film without even seeing it? Mr. Green, we have over 1 million people in this country reliant on food bank handouts to survive. Last year, 400,000 children were forced to use food bank handouts. Parents are going without a meal so that their children have enough to eat. The elderly are having to make a decision between whether or not to buy food or heat for their homes.